Make $10,000 in the next 30 days wholesaling real estate. My very first wholesale deal, I was able to make over $10,000, close to $11,000 on my very first wholesale deal. And these are the steps that I took in order to get my very first wholesale deal. Now that happened a couple of years ago, and the real estate arena and the economy has changed a little bit since then. And so I'm going to add some things in to help you get that very first wholesale deal, or to close $10,000 on your next wholesale deal. Make sure you all subscribe, comment down below your thoughts, and like this video. Now, making $10,000 in 30 days wholesaling real estate. Yes, we're coming towards the end of this year, and you are probably thinking, hey, I need to close out this year with some sort of traction in my real estate business. And this is the video for you. And even if you're not watching this at the end of a year, but you're watching this in the middle of the year, yes, do these steps in order to get you closer to that very first wholesale deal. I don't want to guarantee that, yes, you're going to make $10,000 in the next 30 days, because yes, this business is difficult, but if you're dedicated, if you spend as much time as you would in a 9-to-5 job, you can get closer or even get that very first wholesale deal in the next 30 days and make at least $10,000. And I think that $10,000 is important, because a lot of times you can go out there and you can close the deal and make $1,000, $2,000. And yes, that's great, especially for your first few deals. But now it's time to get bigger deals. It's time to consistently get 5-figure deals in your business, or even for your very first wholesale deal. Now, these are the steps that I would take if I'm trying to make $10,000 in the next 30 days wholesaling real estate. Please be sure to take notes. So this is the marketing technique that I would use. So number one, I would drive for dollars. So the very first week, the first 7 days, just on your notes, put day 1, day 2, day 3. For the next 3 to 4 days, I'm going to drive for dollars for 4 hours a day. So for 4 days, I'm going to drive around the areas that I want to target. Now, I know this caters more to people who are wholesaling around their area, but even if you're virtually wholesaling, you can use Google Maps. And I have another technique for you all also. So that's essentially driving around an area that you want to target, looking for homes that look like they're in bad shape. Maybe the grass is overgrown, or the roof looks super old. It just doesn't look like an updated home. You write that down, or you can use an app like Deal Machine. I'll put a link down below, but it's an app that allows you to just click on like addresses, and then it adds it to a list that you can target and call sellers later. So that's another technique. But if you don't have that money in your budget, but you can still just write down the address and skip trace the address. Skip tracing, essentially finding someone's contact information using their address online in order to market to them. So those are the first 4 days. And then on top of that, those first 4 days, now you need to have some money in your budget in order to do these things if you really want to get that $10,000 deal in the next 30 days. So the other thing that I would do in those first 4 days is I would go and pull a list. So I would use a website like PropStream. If you all are interested, check my link down below. With PropStream, you can find motivated sellers who may be looking to sell. And so I would grab a list of about 1,000 people. Now on my channel, I do have different videos on which list that you should target using PropStream, so please check those out. But I would target a specific list and find like 1,000 people within that list, and I would do my marketing. So I would either cold call, I'll send text, or if I have a little bit more money, I'll send direct mail. Now, I do prefer like the cold calling method because it's cheaper and you get a direct response right away. Like mailers, you kind of have to send multiple mailers in order to get a response from a seller, and so you don't have that amount of time when you're trying to get your $10,000 deal in 30 days or less. Those are the first few things I would do in the very first full week of my 30-day challenge. So especially those very first 4 days, I would drive for dollars every single day for 4 days, or even up to 7 days. So I'm just talking about the week, 4 to 7 days, 4 hours a day. So whether that's after work, 5 to 9 p.m., whether that's before work, 6 to 10 a.m., or 5 to 9 a.m., whatever those hours are that works for you, do that in order to, make sure you're out there and trying to find that deal. All right, so I hope you all have been taking notes. So we talked about marketing the very first week, of cold calling, a list using PropStream, and doing driving for dollars. So those are 2 techniques that you can use whether you're wholesaling in person or doing virtual wholesaling. So yes, you can just pull a list, you can contact realtors, you can do the whole realtor route and trying to find properties that you can wholesale using the MLS MLS and different websites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor. Now, the second week, hopefully you're getting some response from sellers within that very first week, cold calling your prospecting list, cold calling your driving for dollars list. And I especially like the driving for dollars list because that's the most unique list that you will have. You're probably not going to have that same list as another wholesaler because you have a different eye, right? You're going to see a rundown house that they may not see, right? And a lot of wholesalers are not driving for dollars. You know, a lot of them are sitting behind their computer, which can work for them, but a lot of people are not out there in the field trying to do this. So that's what I would do the very first week. And as those responses come, I will follow up. Now, you're trying to get this done in 30 days or less. And so what I would do the second week, so day 7 to 14, I would follow up. So hopefully within those lists, people that you got from Driving for Dollars and PropStream, you got some hot leads, actually. Some people who say they are motivated to sell, you know, and maybe you have some other lists that you can target the next 30 days or a couple months from now that you can close later. So what I would do is I would follow up with those hot leads every single day. Yes, during the weekday, 5 days a week. And I'll just check up, what are you thinking? Or every 2 days, if you can kind of sense that they're getting annoyed, right? Gauge your room temperature and everything like that. So I would follow up. And then from there, hopefully you can get somebody who's interested. And in that second week also, I'm going to go visit their house. I'm going to look at the property. I'm going to run comps. I'm going to look up information on what this property would sell for after it's repaired. So I'll go on Zillow, I'll go on PropStream and look at the estimated value, and I'll look at comparables, look at other properties that sold in that area that were recently renovated. And I'll use that ARV number in order to look at my offer price. Next, let's say there's some negotiation and hopefully you agreed upon a good price with your seller. I'll post this on Facebook groups. I would market the contract, the assignable contract, not the property, over to cash buyers. And so hopefully during this time, you have a contact list, you have cash buyers. I'll look on Facebook if you don't have cash buyers. And remember, this is only the second week, so you still have time to find cash buyer, especially to me, like if it's a great deal, you don't have to go to the cash buyer first. You don't have to find a list. Like if it's a great deal, it's going to sell. But yes, even in that first week, if you want to find cash buyers, you can do that. I do have tons of videos of how to find cash buyers, but one easy way, free way, is to use Facebook groups. Go to your Facebook group, REIA group, right? REIA on Facebook. And then on that group, join it. And once you join, there's actually a search icon that you can use in Facebook groups. You just type in cash buyers and there's going to show up different posts from wholesalers saying, hey, leave your emails down below. I'm looking for cash buyers. Copy all those emails and, you know, create a free MailChimp account or some way to email your listing or email contract over to those cash buyers. Another thing is just to post on that group, hey, looking to assign this property for this amount of money. And so once you have that done and you have a cash buyer, you have your contract in place, the third week is working with the title company. Once you send that over to the title company, they're going to do their title search and follow up with your title company. Say, okay, where are you all along the title phase? Have you guys did the title search? Do you guys have any questions for me? Do you need more information from the seller? Where are you all along this process? And then hopefully if you give it that very first day of that third week, hopefully by the end of the week, they got everything back and they can let you know a closing date. So that fourth week closing date happens. You meet up with the seller and the cash buyer at the closing table if you want to be there. You collect your check and they sign and then you close that deal. Now talking about how to get that higher $10,000 range, right? Especially if you've been just getting like, you know, base hits, which is totally fine. But you want to go over that amount, you have to go to higher price properties. That's why I was talking about looking at comparables, especially that second, third week. Looking at comparables is key because if you're able to market higher price properties, which isn't that hard in today's market because everything is high price. So if the average medium home price is around $400,000, you can easily find properties maybe that are run down around $250,000, $275,000 that you can easily sell for $10,000 more if you're wholesaling. So making sure you look at the estimated value, like if the estimated value is pretty low or if it's under 100 grand, you have to look for, I guess, medium price homes in order to get that larger spread. And on top of that, you have to negotiate better, because you can make $10,000 off of a lower price home. You just have to negotiate better. So one way to do that is just let them know, ask the seller what they think of the property, ask them what they would buy the property as is in its current condition. Just let them know, you know, how rough the condition is and things of that nature, and show them, hey, these are what houses are selling for in this area and things of that nature, in order to negotiate a little bit better. So I know this is a 30-day plan, step-by-step plan in order to get that wholesale deal over $10,000, but this may run over 30 days, most likely. This, maybe you're lucky and you're able to get it in less than 30 days, do all of these steps in 30 days or less. But I think this is a great guideline for you all to go out there and get that $10,000. All right, you all, hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below.